Greetings, welcome to the pre-show. Turn the jazz up a little bit. So this is the first video from the campsite. And as you can see, it's a pretty generic backdrop, not too revealing, and I would love to be able to travel around with my laptop. Rural areas, urban areas, basically documenting different things, maybe low power FM. So I'm calibrating my energy here to being alone. There's no one around me. I can pan the camera around, but I'm usually recording with the laptop. Now I feel like I can breathe. I have a camera here that I've pulled out, that I've charged up, that I can use so I don't have to contend or deal with the energy of the cell phone. And to be honest with you, I've been on the cell phone a little bit looking at music videos and YouTube, and this is better. I have a radio also. So I want to talk about the ups before any downs. Stuff like this wasn't around 10 years ago. This could have really helped me out off the grid. But I had some golf cart batteries. But this is portable. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to tell you that this has made my life so much easier. And it's like literally I'm living it every day out of this box. People have literally looked at it when I've been in areas of McDonald's like, what the fuck? Like I was using that in Texas on a regular basis. So it could fail, and it has failed before. It is sensitive to temperature, and so are other things. But for now, So this is an area that gets a lot of traffic from people with bikes that travel here from all over. I don't have a lot to show and tell. It's not really important, but intention is. I painted this, and it's about protection. And so when I'm driving, I put it there in the window area, as if it's being seen from the sky. And painted a second one and gave it to it as a gift to somebody, which is foolish, because dabbling in that type of spirituality, people you don't know, they could find it scary. Some people swear by Organite. People like the friend of Jay Parker, who's close to Mark Passio. On the topic of, thought to myself that this would be a good time to expand my consciousness with the quiet around me, to contemplate something deep. Manly P. Hall comes to mind, who is no longer with us, but there's just so much that he created that I haven't listened to.
Listen on your radio, online at jazz935.org,
and also
on the TuneIn app by searching Jazz 93.5. It's time for another moment.
Mark Passio's long 8-hour conference with regards to, I'm going to take a look at it now,
a visionary promoter and producer
shadow
who
work.
Previously founded Clef Records in 1946 and Nordgren Records in 1953. He merged these labels into Verve, creating a powerhouse for jazz recordings. Verve Records had an artist-centric approach. Grants was known for his deep respect for musicians and his commitment to giving them artistic freedom.
Perfect. And so essentially, whether it's creating content, a lot of content, or consuming certain content, or a book, or writing a book, going out in nature, there
artists including Ella Fitzgerald, Oscar
going
Peterson,
out in nature,
Holiday, Count Basie, and many more. Grants was a flamboyant and charismatic
to absorb
figure, known for his passionate advocacy for his
some sort of new information that you normally wouldn't get from the noise of the city. That's what's important, to be able to hold your attention.
Emblematic artists and recordings on Verve included Ella
So I just want to sit here with you,
series,
just
Oscar Peterson's
try to pretend to be calm. Yeah, we have some really soft soil here, but I'll tell you, to start off,
environment for musicians, allowing artists
kind of a long
to
PSA.
explore their musical visions freely. Verve played a crucial
really
role
needs like
in
a pad.
documenting and shaping the history of jazz. I'm Jeff Peckham, and this has been a moment in jazz history.
Things that come to mind are things that would help me, like a little rake, broom,
jazz history. Up next,
pad. That's
combo.
all stuff.
Don Nebesky on organ, Billy Martin on drums, Chris Wood on bass. This is the tune Shuffle
That's
Up.
all stuff. And I lost stuff. And I'm making peace with the loss of that stuff. The tables. Even the gong bell. The singing bell, obviously, bowl. all that can be replaced. And that food, that canned food that I have, I need to eat it. So as far as material goes, like for right now, the immediate moment, you know, there can't be any McDonald's or a lot of things, essentially. And I'm gonna have to go to certain places to, you know, where I'll be getting food, which is part of the adventure right now of being grateful and centered and being grounded in the here and now. This is not a time to be driving around. Okay, I put $7.77 in my car. So let's talk about some interesting things. Now that we talked about that, the reality of the world, I am in a spiritual place knowing that I'm going to overcome this, and I'm not spending a lot of time, obviously, on the news. I'm here talking to you, making this video, but I've actually been doing a lot of walking around, you probably assumed, in circles. What I will say is I walk intentionally in circles, and that's for a reason. There's something about that in both directions, just pondering. And in doing so, I'm looking around right now. Now it is Monday. It is Memorial Day, but here in this area, there's no one around me. And just the other day, there was a couple here. There was a couple here, two families, one of those like brand new. There's a lot of these white vans that are here. You know what I'm talking about? Those white vans, like, so I just want to just talk openly. I'm real grateful to be here, but I'm living a different experience than they are. I'm not here to focus on the negative today, but the things that I'm going through, they are not. And so it's a part of my journey, and it can be fashionable, it can be attractive to mainstream America in the future and how I deal with it. I'm handling this like a boss, just like I told the cops, right, when I was being 86 from that one business. I'm actually taking this quite well, right? So it's like, you know, something I've been saying a lot. So I do have almost like a Fonzie-like response or approach to this, where it's too cool for school. And I will get through this. This is not Portland, Oregon. This is not 2014. This is not 2015. This adventure and others, they're going to be reading about in the history books in the future. I find stuff, I lose stuff, I put on bracelets, I take off bracelets, it's back and forth. I've been going through the reality of getting older, losing stuff. But overall right now, like today for example, I've already cut myself off from coffee. And there was a lot of that coming in here, you know, a lot of drinking coffee. And I'm doing this, obviously, just to get the energy going. So for me, there's a lot of grounding through the hands, connecting through the hands, through this circular motion exercise that I do. Either in the morning, the afternoon, or at night. It's not just a martial art, but it is a martial art. There are movements that are related to Tai Chi within it. So obviously we have almost like an amphitheater type of an energy going outward this way. It's quiet. But at any moment in time, you'll see whole family could be behind me. Look at that guy. What is he doing? He's talking into the laptop. What about? Wouldn't you like to know? But hey, out here in this environment, there's something very attractive about certain movies, and I left my DVDs, but DVDs can be replaced. They can be replaced. But just the appreciation of a movie, right, from something as simple as this, which might have been really expensive back in the day, and might seem worthless in the grid, but something like this that can actually play for 4 hours, that maybe only costs $30 or $40, maybe you get it for like $25. They are like invaluable here in this experience, watching something like John Candy from the Great Outdoors, for example, or just whatever your favorite movies, but I think certain things go along with camping, but maybe more so when you're maybe somebody like me, whatever, how you interpret that. We have Cobra Kai Season 4. I have not watched this yet, but I picked this up in Texas. And then, of course, I'll notice movies that have these apocalyptic themes where there's a lot of reality in them. like Running Man, which isn't within reach, but is up there. And here we have Lord of the Rings, probably purchased for $2, right? So it's about 3 hours of entertainment there. What I was saying in an earlier video is like, you know, when somebody shows up and they play something like that while being seen with a cat, while having crystals, I don't know what else. They put off a certain vibe that's not threatening. Even if it's not popular or the people in the city, when it comes to camping, certain things are popular. So I'm just going to continue to talk about just a whole barrage of things. Bruce Lee, Chinese Connection. So I'm tapping into, I guess, a higher vibration, spirit, or attitude. And it's not just the marijuana, it's the intention. I'm not even consuming that much. I'm on a very limited budget for the moment. And so I'm going to have to be grateful for what I have. Very, very frugal. And there's going to be more cooking. I'd show you now, but it's over there. But I have a propane stove, which a woman got for me, which was taken from me, which I had to go to get back from a landfill an hour and a half away, round trip, using a gas card for Conoco. Now, none of that happened to me before, nor the help. There's never any help, ever. Not in Portland, not in Dallas. I mean, in Dallas, 9 to 8, they just hang up the phone. So what I would say is, I feel the angels watching over me. I've been following my hunch. There's a lot of people that have moved to Colorado that are seeking some sort of a healing. And there are people from here though that are all screwed up. And there's going to be people that are going to dislike me no matter what. That's what I know from experience. And I know that going into the experience, to not get too close to certain people. And then certain people are going to be like right over here, they were doing meth. That's how serious the dark problem is. That's how clear the reality is, that you can try to escape or go off grid and find problem people that are influencing those BLM park rangers to come down hard on people like me and others that seem to be not following the rules. So we have this whole collective punishment problem. People like me now have to evade on a regular basis as of tomorrow. You know, it's about, you know, packing up and getting out, essentially, in the morning, all my stuff. But so for right now, I'm just going to be grateful that it's not costing me $25 to be here. So as far as the evolution, of these videos, it will get better. As far as graphics, picture-in-picture, everything's been raw for a while. I'm drinking my sports drink, electrolytes. You know, I, for the most part, just stay away from a lot of stuff. But right now, it's about hydration. What I can say is I was drinking this kale, the kale power, the pure synergy, and actually put too much in there, and you can tell. Looks like it's, you know, fish food. But this is how I balance out diet or living for the healthy gut bacteria when I'm not getting basic fruits and vegetables. You know, I learned a lot of important things from my friend or the person that I live with in Texas. But a lot of things she didn't understand when it came to my body and my strength, my mind, body, and spirit. Most importantly, my ability to lead others to something great. I am going to lead people to something great. And it didn't just begin with this newsletter, but it has to become more focused. Continue to maintain awareness around me as I think about where my camp will be tomorrow. My cat is here. My cat is safe. And then I have another video for you about the cat and our connection. And that's been done with this camera here. Right? So now I can record without waiting for the cell phone to boot up. We're going to end it there in 15 minutes. This is going to be uploaded to one of the YouTube channels that's going to be documenting my van life. But we'll get deeper into my thoughts in the video after this. Stay tuned.